AskReddit by not Vipex. Adults of Reddit, what is something every teenager needs to know? It's okay to say no to anyone. Don't let anyone in your life guilt trip you into doing something you don't want to do or are uncomfortable with. And try to be aware of when you are guilt tripping others. Learn a second language. It's good for your brain, and it's a lot easier when you're young. Get active and fit, make it a habit. This is one of the most important ways to stave off cognitive decline as you get older. Plus, it's great for managing mental health during the transition to adulthood. Start trying to save money now. You will definitely thank yourself later on. Yes. Even if you don't know yet what you're saving for. Could be a down PMT on a car, could be for a computer, for a move to a new town, for a better job, deposits on an apartment and utilities, car repairs, veterinary visits for a pet, a new bed mattress. Life happens, and if you have a savings, it makes it easier. The measure of whether someone has the potential to be a new friend of yours is not whether they like a bunch of things you like. It is entirely possible to become friends with people who like a ton of things you've never heard of, or even already decided you dislike. You are at a spot in life where a lot of your likes and dislikes are subject to change anyway. Biggest thing, making a new friend often takes time. Lots of time. Much longer than movies and shows make it look like. Find things to do, groups to join, city league sports to play, pandemic permitting, or after, and keep learning about the people you see repeatedly. Far too many early 20s people who report having no friends made a premature judgment that one or more prospective friends were off the list, when it just needed a lot more time. Can confirm. My best friend and I have absolutely nothing in common interest-wise, but get along extremely well. Deleted. Failure and mistakes are where you are learning. When you make a mistake, own up to it. People are more willing to help you when you admit you did a dumb thing. This goes for school, work, and personal life. Forget to make a payment on a loan? Call and talk to the finance company. Mess something up on a school project? Tell your teacher and ask for a bit of leeway, etc. People will be more likely to help you if you communicate. Start your retirement fund as early as possible. Doesn't matter if you can only afford $5 a week, it's still $5 more than you would have had otherwise. It will add up and you'll thank yourself later. Get a marketable skill. Unskilled labor sucks. You need something that's going to pay you. It doesn't have to be your life's passion, contrary to what my peers were saying at that age, but you do need to be able to tolerate it. And you don't need to go to the university and get a BA to get those skills. 2 years of welding school will get you a better return in investment than most undergrad degrees. Cashiers don't care if you buy condoms. As a cashier, I only found it funny when a guy came to buy chocolate and a pack of condoms on Valentine's Day. If you don't have a passion, learn new skills. You might find your passion or something you're good at. Good advice. Also, if you do have a passion, embrace it and don't be shy about it. When you get to driving, you need to realize that the laws of physics apply to you. They aren't out to get you, they are just indifferent. Slow the fuck down and don't horse around. You're driving a very heavy machine at speeds we did not evolve to deal with. Be safe. Also, slow down on curves. Friction is your best friend until you reach the breaking point. Don't put off dealing with mental health issues. Developing unhealthy coping mechanisms for emotional issues will fuck you up big time down the road. If you have issues, deal with it head on, right away. It can take time, but start the work now. Also, save for retirement. You should open a Roth IRA yesterday. Sometimes it's not just a phase, and your parents, while both very intelligent functional people, are fucking idiots for letting you suffer through 4 years of high school. Don't go to college for more than 2 years unless you're gonna finish it. Don't let your bank account yo-yo around zero. Start to save something. At least have $1,000 for an emergency fund. Drinking a little is fine. Drinking at the bar every weekend or 3xwk will ruin your health and your wallet. Don't drink and drive, but you are allowed to have fun and nice things sometimes, and sex is not wrong or immoral. Do it, be careful about it, and most social media is a poisonous, toxic, lying brag fest dumpster fire. Don't waste your time except for your immediate friend group. If you are assaulted on campus, notify the police, not campus security. To add to this, if you're experiencing harassment, bullying, or anything that isn't technically a matter for the police, don't stop reporting it to the school until somebody actually listens to you. The first person you talk to at the school may blow you off. Go to the next person up or another department. If they say there's nothing they can do, get them to put it in writing. People are often much more inclined to help if their actions, or lack thereof, are being recorded. Learn to trust your gut when in strange situations. If something feels off wrong, it probably is. Don't go along with something if it feels wrong. And don't feel bad for not going along. Do what's right for you. While you shouldn't believe those who say these gonna be the best years of your life, try to make the most of it, to enjoy the ride. Don't be ashamed of your hobbies and passions. Those who make fun of that can go fuck themselves. Every feeling you have deserves to be expressed in any constructive manner. Don't fear rejection from those you like. Love. Tell them and come what may. Whenever people talk about how these are supposed to be my best years of my life, it makes me sad because I can't see how this is my peak. Not having fun. I'm not experiencing anything and time is passing. Edit. Seeing the attention this got definitely made it a little better though. How to de-escalate difficult situations. And how to disagree with a teacher, someone in authority, without sounding like a know-it-all or in a condescending manner. For example, if a teacher says X and you are certain you learned differently, recognize that there may be certain circumstances that you may not realize that changes something. Lead the disagreement with a saying like, "Excuse me, I may be wrong, but I thought learned why." This kind of phrasing does not cause the other person to be on the defensive, which can allow gentle new instruction for you, or a graceful face-saving correction for the teacher. A situation with differing opinions doesn't have to be confrontational. The general advice to not be an asshole will get you further in life than you would expect, considering how easy it is. I graduated 10 years ago from high school and none of those people are in my life now. So take your time being you and grow your self-esteem and talents now over wasting time trying to impress those pricks you won't even remember in a few months after graduation. Edit. It seems like there is some confusion as to my advice. I am not saying drop your friends. Those are a very important aspect of life, especially in high school. What I am saying is drop the politics and drama of your school. I know it feels like it is the whole world now, but if you let those who try to bring you down, who mock you, who try and pressure you will not be around forever. Worry about building yourself to being the best you that you can become. I still have contact with a few childhood friends to this day, just not really any I made in high school. But all those negative, drama craving, bullies, and those downbeats in general will not follow you. I graduated 2 years ago and already lost contact with all of them. I've said this before, but it's important. When someone says you can't do something in life, it means they can't do it, not that you can't. I'll never understand people that shit on anyone's desires, goals, or aspirations. People, employers, etc. will take advantage of your naivete. In many cases this will be illegal. Know your rights, so when the illegal shit happens you can recognize it. Learn the signs and signals of toxic relationships. All too often these can start as early as high school, and before you know it you've wasted years of your life being someone's victim. Advice is free, and if you respond to it with "I know," then you're probably not gonna figure your problem out. I'm 17 and I needed to hear this one. Thanks : the person you love at the 17th of may not be the person you love at 30. You change. They change. If you change together and are still on the same path, that's great. But allow yourselves to change, allow them to change, and reassess whether you're simply together for loyalty or because you still really want a future together with who you both are now. Basically, be willing to let love go. It doesn't mean you didn't love them. You both changed and it happens and it's kinda sad, but will just open you up to be yourself. Learn how to cook. It's way cheaper and usually faster than takeout. And does less damage to your health, provided you aren't just cooking out of a box all the time. Most of your friends are the product of geographic convenience. Just because you grew up being friends with a neighbor or a fellow student, doesn't mean you owe them your undying loyalty when they start treating you like shit. Yes, it's very possible that you outgrow your childhood friends, or just grow in different directions. At the same time, teens should understand that once your school days are over, high school or college, finding and keeping friends takes so much more effort. Because you don't automatically see them every day. Good music will help you in life. There's always more to it. Right now isn't the be all and end all. Edit. Wowie, thank you for the awards, kind strangers. I will also say that by no means as a teen should your feelings be downplayed, and this is not suggesting that your current issues are minimal. It's important to recognize how you're feeling, but also don't let it consume or dictate how you look towards your future. There is always going to be a better time. To those who reached out to me, keep pushing on. You deserve so much better, will get better and have exciting things ahead. Yay, they don't tell you this enough when you're younger. No one explains that adulthood just keeps going. The sun is definitely coming up tomorrow and it will be a whole new day, same as today. It just keeps happening. You can take that with pessimism or optimism. It really doesn't matter because we're doing it all again tomorrow. Don't sweat the small stuff. Soon it will be years in the past. We know all the tricks. We were teenagers once before as well. Sometimes I hear friends saying if I do this trick, my mom would never know. Dude, your mom did that trick. Every teenager should be taught proper sex ed, how to prevent pregnancy and STIs. They should also do a better job of explaining the differences between real sex and porn, though honestly there are some great instructional videos on Pornhub out there. Edit, and, adding consent explicitly, per you Breadbox 187's pertinent reminder. Consent is as easy as https://www.youtube.com/watch?vocube5jgit8 . Compound interest. It's never too early to start saving for retirement. This. Also, if you are lucky enough to get one in your first real job, then max out your 401k. Deleted. And that perception of time will fool you into believing you don't need to start today. That you can do the thing you want to do today and put off the thing you have to do, start a retirement account, learn a new skill, till tomorrow or next week, because there's plenty of time. You're allowed to question authority. If an authority says something you think is wrong, you're allowed to question that. Take a personal finance class. Twitter, or any social media, is a loaded gun. It's there forever, even if you delete it. There are people in bad situations. This is sad. But, not all of them want to be saved from it. We, your parents, are harsh because we want you to make better choices than we did. The wisest of us, though, will let you make mistakes and fail to a smaller degree. 'Cause we know you don't listen. Edit. Some parents truly are assholes. My advice isn't universal in this case, Sorry for any confusion. Check out our said narcissists to see if yours qualifies. People tell you these are the best years of your life. That's bullshit. Just because you have fewer responsibilities in their eyes doesn't mean your problems are invalid. It was especially hurtful for me to hear that when I was going through depression in high school. I was already at rock bottom, but if it's all downhill from here, what's the friggin' point? It's sad, but it's sort of like an opinion that's stated as a fact. All people have to say is those were the best years of my life. Maybe that's the lesson though, lol. Be ready for a bunch of people to tell you a bunch of shit like it's truth when there literally is no truth in the first place. Very late to this thread, but remember that sometimes even well-meaning advice from very wise people can be out of date. When I was a teen, conventional wisdom was to buy a house instead of rent as soon as you could, and buy all the house you can afford. And this was because for my parents, my grandparents, for most people in the country for as long as anybody could remember, home values almost always went up over time, especially in the long run. It would be the biggest transaction you'd ever make, and probably your best investment, and it was only going to get more expensive. And then there was a housing crash. And the housing market got fucky. And guess who wound up moving and taking a mid-5-figure loss on a lovely house when he moved out of state? This guy right here. On the plus side, a nice young family got a lovely 1,800 square foot home in a nice, safe neighborhood for a very reasonable price. There will be changes in the RL meter. The advice you get about careers, finances, etc. might wind up invalid as the world changes. Taking stealthy snaps of people without their knowledge to send to your friends to make fun of them actually isn't funny or cool, it's cringy and you're an asshole. Avoid debt if possible. Never trust a junkie. Gustavo Fring. Save money. Now. Adulting is way more expensive than you can ever imagine. Deleted. Start a fitness plan habits when you're young. You won't have that metabolism forever. Don't get in the habit of drinking alcohol. It may end up running and ruining your life. If you don't have a passion yet, don't sweat it and don't think you have to go to college straight away. Get an apartment to share with friends and job hop until you figure out what you're good at, enjoy doing. Then consider college for that specific area. Everyone is smart, just at different things. People can be book smart or people smart or machine smart, etc. But the difference between successful people and not so much is the application and education you give. My nephew is 9 and his dad is already calling him dumb, which is insane because that kid is so quick. He understands things rapidly. But he doesn't like school right now. This is something I just told him. If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing it's stupid. If you judge a monkey by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing it's a genius. If you judge a human by its ability to climb a tree, you probably shouldn't work in education. Do not take naughty pictures or record videos. Edit. The irony of the username is hilarious, but the more important thing that nobody mentioned so far is that there is absolutely no need for people to judge you based on your teenage sexual activity. Ignore sexualized media the best you can and don't measure yourself based on the size of your naughty bits or how open to sex you are. The OnlyFans edgeral life sounds intoxicating, but is absolutely draining since you're nothing more than an object to your supporters. PM me your tits PLZ. It's hard to make new, meaningful friendships as an adult, so don't take the good friendships you have for granted. Life moves very quickly after leaving school, years go by so quickly. Edit. Just wanted to say, holy crap, 20k upvotes. I've never had more than 100 before, so thank you. A lot of people have been saying this scares them. Please don't be scared. Adult life is great, but you just have to keep yourself active and doing different things. Just make sure to appreciate everything you have and try not to have regrets. I heard a saying once that always felt apt: the older you get, the longer the days, but shorter the years. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to know everything. Hell, it's more important to know enough about what you don't know, so you don't say something embarrassing or stupid and you can try to sway the conversation or argument toward what you do know. Fake it till you make it. Always keep your eyes and ears open. Learn lots of little useless facts. They can make you sound extra smart, without any effort. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut and your ears open. Don't dig in if a conversation isn't going your way. Lay back. Shut the hell up. To quote Mark Twain, it's better for a person to think you're an idiot even if you haven't said anything than it is for you to open your mouth and prove them right. Oh, and never take the brown acid. And most importantly kids, we'll quote the late, great Timothy Leary, think for yourself and question everything. Don't be afraid to fail at things. Just getting into my 30s and I am finding the new generation seems to be afraid of being bad at something to the point of not trying new things. Go and try. Obviously there are things to be cautious about, but take reasonable risks on things like moving, jobs, work, hobbies, etc. You learn more by failing than by succeeding. When you fail, try to figure out why you didn't and don't be afraid of trying again. It will pay off in the end. It really doesn't matter what others think of you. It only matters what you think of yourself. Live your life such that you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and be proud of what you've done. Also, likes from social media don't mean a thing. If you post something that gets 0 likes or upvotes, you will still wake up tomorrow ready to go. Enjoy the small stuff like your back not hurting. I'm a teenager and I can't remember a time when my back didn't hurt. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is a fantastic prison name. Who would wanna battle the powerhouse of the cell? Deleted. When I did driver's ed, I made a point of myself to only go as fast as the speed limit. The only time I would speed up would either be merging and amp, some situation where someone was following me. It's better to be a little late than try to speed and kill some innocent person. Do not be afraid to ask out that girl guy that you like. If you suffer from anxiety like myself, then at least try to work on it. I personally went through all my teenage years without even trying to talk to girls much at all, and now that I'm 19 and have the chance to look back, I 100% regret it. Me, a teenager, drinking up the advice. Me, mid-20s, also drinking up the advice.